Welcome back, boys. We're here to give you another recap of all the fantasy action from this past week. Some teams are already in full panic mode. Some teams are already celebrating their championship. And probably in reality, all teams need to come down because we're only through week 2. Nick, welcome back to the show. How are things going over there in Chicago and
Uh,
the Cleveland Steamers?
I would be lying if I said things were going well. We have moved on to our second container of bleach. So the first one has been done. We kind of did step it up and went with a name brand Clorox on this one because we're really trying to, kill off some demons. So yeah, we're there right now.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to get right into the action. First matchup also has me a little sad over here because we came in, we played a pretty good game, but we just got absolutely routed by Francy. They really came to play this week, 186 to 153.
And so let's start out with the man KFC Kirk Cousins with the specific KFC creative running into the Thursday night football game. Kirk Cousins showed out for fantasy managers, did cough up the ball a couple times to the Eagles, but at the end of the day, you're putting up 360 yards, 4 touchdowns, almost 35 points in fantasy. An owner of Francy Feast, you gotta love that from one of your leaders here in KFC, Kirk Cousins. And then let's go to the next four because the next four really kind of tell the story here. Bijan Robinson, 25 points, 125 yards on the ground, 50 receiving yards. Absolute stud, shredded up my Packers this weekend. Derrick Henry getting in the end zone, a cool little 19 points. Great to see that out of his running back. T. Higgins, or should I say Heat Higgins, as Francy Feast calls him, 2 touchdowns. Super big bounce back performance from him from 0 points last week. And also old reliable Mike Evans. We saw him pop out for 50 in the toilet bowl championship last year. 171 yards, touchdown, just was absolutely shredding up Chicago because who doesn't? And also you get Mixon and Waller turning in pretty solid performances here with 13 and 15 respectfully. Honestly, just a great performance here from Francy Feast. Pretty much everything was firing on all cylinders for them. Definitely one of the weeks that you want to stash in your back pocket and go back to. Is like this is kind of what this team expects in terms of high end performances from their guys. Just great all around performance from them.
Yeah, great all around performance indeed. Really nothing we could do over here on the flip side. We felt like we played a pretty good game this week, and the film study since this game has ended has indicated that, but it was just not enough. Sometimes that's going to happen in this league. Dak finally showed up, able to get it going, 28 points for his own, able to find the end zone twice. McCaffrey, another good day, nothing new. Uh, Godwin was probably our one down spot if we did have a critique. He only got 9 points, and on the same receiving core as Mike Evans, that really cost us. Mike Evans taking all the points there. Was good to get Kelsey back, only 10 points from him, still getting back to his full form, but we were happy to see him able to make the lineup. And I would also like to send a personal congratulations to James Cook for getting 20 points, making me not look like a complete idiot, having DeAndre Swift on the bench, who scored 31. We were able to live with that. It was not ended up not being the reason we lost. So yeah, we sit at 1-1. Probably lost one we shouldn't have, and won one we shouldn't have. So all evens out. If we play like this every week, we're gonna start stacking wins. All right, moving on to our second game of the week. We have PC Principal. They're off to a really hot 2-0 start. They get the big win over the defending co-champs FaZe Kev, 134 to 105. And yeah, the running back's really the bright spot for PC Principal in this one. White and Moss both recording 20 for him. And then longtime superstar for this franchise, Keenan Allen, showed up to play again this week. He had 30 points, really big difference maker. Breece Hall would be their one down spot, only 0.9 points in a loss to the Cowboys. Cowboys off to a really good start this year. And yeah, so is PC Principal, probably the biggest surprise 2-0 team so far this year. We'll see if they're able to keep that momentum going. Big win as they knock off the defending co-champions.
And for FaZe Kev, they're down Eckler this week. So their RB room was a little bit light. As we can see with some of the performances here, we are hoping for a speedy recovery from Eckler. The game's just a lot better when he's out on the field. So hoping for the best for him. Wasn't able to get a great performance out of Josh Kelly. Granted, they were going up against that incredible Tennessee run defense. So only a little 5.4. Javonte Williams still kind of easing his way back in from all the CL tears that he had last year. But you did turn a good performance in from Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a pretty solid week. Amon-Ra St. Brown, it kind of sounds like he's dealing with maybe turf toe, something with his foot. So again, just hoping for the best for him. He's super electric for that Lions offense. Olave had a pretty decent turnout. Again, like 80 yards, 6 catches, 11 targets, pretty solid day. But just not quite the dominant performance that we saw last week from this team that was kind of firing on all cylinders. So again, like trying to get Eckler back into the running back room, get some of these receivers a little bit healthier. Again, like you're going to have some of these weeks where stuff just doesn't go your way every once in a while, but it was really great to see Josh Allen kind of bounce back from last week's interesting Monday night football game. So there's a lot of things pointing up here for Kevin still, even though it wasn't the week that he wanted. But really here is about getting Eckler back and then getting people back into form.
All right, our third matchup of the week, we had Philly Cheekles taking it home in a nail biter that came down to the wire, 129 to 121 over Glizz Mafia. And yeah, big day from Justin Herbert, even though he was unable to get the win in real life. Big fantasy day, 27 points. Really established himself as the leader for the team this week. And then the receivers also played a good little role for them this week as well. Devontae Smith, 24 points, Garrett Wilson, 17. And yeah, this team able to rack up their first dub, kind of quiet week. The rest of the lineup, they were able to hold off Pat Freiermuth at the end on Monday Night Football, take home the win, and they get their first win after having to jump in the lake last year. So I'm sure they'll take it any way they can get it.
There are a couple key duds here from Glizz Mafia that really sealed their fate in this one. First one started out on Thursday Night Football. The AJ Brown versus Devonta Smith little battle that we had going on here. We all saw Smitty get those 2 really long catches, one being the really long touchdown, and AJ Brown kind of being held in check for a majority of the game. So that was a key contributor here. Also, scrolling back up to the top of the page, Trevor Lawrence, 0 touchdown passes. Woof. That's not what you want to see from a guy that you just signed a 3-year deal to, one of the guys who's in the race for the MVP, or at least was at the preseason. So definitely want to get that cleaned up down in Jacksonville, only putting up 9 points against a pretty solid Chiefs defense. But again, like we kind of expected a little bit more. Josh Jacobs, -2 rushing yards, another woof. Still was able to kind of salvage a fantasy day by getting some receiving work. But again, like from the leading rusher of last year, having 2 subpar rushing performances, again, another thing that just needs to get turned around for this team. The Cowboys showed up again for Glizz Mafia. Glizz Mafia loves their Cowboys right now. CeeDee Lamb had an incredible performance. The defense, again, turning in another 30 points. So, they're loving the Cowboys down there. Unfortunately for them, Pat Freiermuth just couldn't get anything going on the Monday Night Football game. As the Steelers offense, did they end up, they might have put up less points than their defense did in terms of just total points in the game. So again, like that offense looks weird right now. Didn't help Glizz Mafia on Monday night. And ultimately with those kind of 3 big contributors leading them to just coming up slightly short against the Cheekles this week.
All right, moving on to our 4th game of the week. We had Sticky Mistakes, 175 to Wallace Pluto, 135. Sticky Mistakes scaring everyone early about their claim to the crown. We'll see if they're able to get it done.
Yeah, kind of just looking at the team here, this is like that classic GTA meme where it's like, shit, here we go again. I know that we're currently in this like writer strike. Like I know the writers are not, they're striking. They're not creating any like new original content. So yeah, I want to make sure that everybody's doing their part to get these writers paid, because this repeat of just like, we're going to keep recycling old material, and though the classic Marvel, oh, we're going to make a live action movie now, but it's the exact same fucking plot. Yeah, I'm kind of over that right now, and I think the rest of the league is kind of over sticky mistakes, just having these every other year. Just, oh hey, here comes an onslaught of everything that you want to go right. It's going to happen. Let's start out with Puka Nakua, because why the hell not is he on this team? Just classic sticky mistakes. What is it? Odd year. Here comes Puka Nakua, the next greatest wide receiver. I'm pretty sure he's leading the league right now in targets and receptions or something, or like the most receptions by a rookie over a 2-game stretch to start their career. Again, just why not? I guess, we're just doing it all over again. Again, Brian Robinson had a really solid day, 30 points. As he was able to punch in 2 touchdowns in that what turned out to be electric game against the Denver Broncos. And then Justin Jefferson, again, just doing Justin Jefferson things, another 25 points for him. Again, he's going to be used to putting up those types of points every week. And then also the Bucks D just feasting against the Bears, because again, just why not? Like, you're playing the Bears, put up points. Sticky mistakes with a really impressive showing here, as their team is kind of falling, like, again, like all the pieces are falling into place, it seems like, for them at the moment. So yeah, get find your local writer and get them off strike, because we need some original content here. That's all we got.
All right, on the flip side of this one, Wallace Pluto, they had a much better week this week, coming off the limp board last week, but still not quite enough to get it done. Saquon had a nice day, 26 points, including a touchdown. It does sound like he's currently questionable with an ankle injury, so we obviously hope to see him recover to full speed as quickly as possible there. And then James Conner also had himself a pretty nice day, scoring nearly 20 points. Uh, Kind of just a quiet day from the rest of this team. No one did too bad, but no one else really popped off enough to get him the win, especially going against a great performance like Steve Mistakes put up with 175. Kind of a similar problem that our team ran into this week. If there was one bad spot, though, we have to say it's probably his Bengals players. Jamar Chase only 6.6, and Joe Burrow with only 20 points. That was coming off a horrible performance in week 1. He was made the highest paid quarterback in both real football and in our league, and it hasn't really gone well for him in the 2 weeks since. So we'll see if he's able to get it going. If they play like this as a team, they'll start racking up wins, but a disappointing week 2 for them, and they fall to 0-2. All right, and then our 5th and final matchup of the week, we had a rivalry that was as heated as always. Canned Pams came in. They were able to get the early dub, 131 to 116 over the Cleveland Steamers. They improved to 1-1. 2 big performers for this team. Kyron Williams, 30 points out of nowhere, running back for the Rams. Able to score 2 touchdowns, really helped this team out. And then a bunch of average to maybe even below average performances from the rest of this lineup. One other big positive spot, though, for them was Lamar. He was able to get 30 points, including 2 touchdowns of his own. And the real way he was able to contribute was by keeping Odell off the board on the other side here. Only 5 points for him for the Cleveland Steamers. And yeah, Canned Pams able to get their first win of the year. Like I said, they hold off their rival. I'm sure they're very happy about this one over in their offices.
Yeah, I'm having what seems like the worst case of deja vu right now, because my notes this week for our team were pretty similar to last week. We're going to start out with our season-ending injury running back. Again, want to step away from fantasy for a moment, just talk about Nick Chubb, the human here. One of the few guys in the league who just kind of goes about his business, does everything right. Honestly, just gutted by the injury, the severity of it, and kind of what it means for his future. There is a real possibility, if you didn't know already, that he blew out the same knee in 2015 when he was in college at Georgia, had to get the knee completely reconstructed. And it was the exact same knee that dislocated, snapped, whatever you want to call it. We all saw the replay on it last night. So it's very likely, well, not well, it's a possibility that we may have seen the last of Nick Chubb ever playing in the NFL. I do hope and pray that he's able to come back. If there's anybody that's going to be able to do it, it is Nick Chubb. He works tirelessly, again, always behind the scenes, and just a consummate professional. But very gutted by the injury. Just he was one of my favorite people just to watch over the last 5 years, one of my favorite NFL players. So it was very, very tough day today. Very just hard to see him go off on the field yesterday. We're praying for the best for Nick Chubb, and hope that he's able to write some more chapters of his career, and that this truly isn't it. Kind of getting back into the fantasy realm here for a second. I thought the team played okay this week. Nothing great, nothing terrible, I guess. Mahomes pretty decent. That game really didn't turn out to be in a shootout at any point, like we were hoping. I thought Stephon Diggs put together a pretty decent day, considering that they absolutely boat raced the Las Vegas Raiders. Odell, I want to touch on for a minute, since he also went out with an injury at the beginning of the second half. So I'm hoping the best for Odell. Going down 2 team captains in one game is pretty gut wrenching, in all honesty. But do want to look at some things from a positive light. TJ Hawkinson, I thought, played incredible. 2 touchdowns, really tried his best as the Vikings offense tried to get back into that game against the Eagles, made it at least interesting. And then Deebo Samuel, I thought, had put together a great game against the Rams. He's notorious for having great games against the Rams, and he put another one together. So wanted to highlight those 2 guys as really performing this week. But overall, really, really tough week, tough scene at the facilities for the Cleveland Steamers here.
Yeah, we at the league would like to wish the best of luck to Nick Chubb in his recovery process. One of the best pure rushers and most entertaining running backs to watch in all of football. We hope that his rehab process goes well for him. He's able to find whatever happiness lies ahead of him in life, whether it's in football or whatever else he decides to do. But yeah, very tough
Appreciate that.
scene on Monday night. Nick, we just wanted to ask you what you thought of the sportsmanship displayed in such terrible times by both your opponent and the other members of our league.
Am I surprised? No. Have I lost some respect for this particular person? Yes, I would say a little. To see what we saw last night with Chubb, and to think that was an appropriate time to poke fun at his injury because it means that you won a fantasy game, is honestly just very bitch made, in my opinion. I mean, a man may have just had his career ended and his life altered forever, and you want to take a victory lap because you won your week 2 fantasy matchup, as if that kind of validates you for something. I mean, at the end of the day, we've seen it before. This kid's the definition of a front runner, kind of like Dylan Brooks to me. He didn't really want to talk at all during the week when we were having like a little back and forth. But the moment Chubb gets carted off the field, you got jokes now. Honestly, just zero class or empathy shown by that organization. I'll still be sending positive vibes to the players that went down for them. I know that BA has an AC joint sprain. Jalen Waddle went into concussion protocol. Again, I'm hoping for the best for them. I always want to see guys play on the field. But I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't looking forward to our next matchup. And to be honest, I can't wait.
All right, very well put. With that, we're going to take a look ahead to the week 3 schedule and let you guys know what matchups you have to look forward to us covering next week. First up, we got Texas size 10-4s taking on Glizz Mafia, historically 2 powerhouses of this league. However, one of these teams will fall to 1 and 2. We're going to have to see which one it will be. Second matchup, we got FaZe Kev taking on the Philly Cheekles. FaZe Kev stumped their toe this past week. They'll be looking to bounce back. Philly Cheekles with another opportunity to show their fan base that they're legit this year. Their fan base has seen this one before, but they'll be looking to prove them wrong this week. Third matchup, we got PC Principal. They're looking to stay high, extend out to 3-0. They're taking on Canned Pams, looking to build off their momentum from the big win this last week. Fourth matchup, we got Wallace Pluto 84. They're still looking for their first win against Cleveland Steamers. They're also looking for this first win. One of the two teams will get it this week. Nick, what are you gonna do to make sure that it's your side?
I mean, I haven't even thought about it yet, but I mean, somebody's like, we're at the position somebody's going to have to step up. So we're going to have to identify that person this week.
All right, and then our fifth and final matchup of the week, we got Francy Feast and Sticky Mistakes going head to head after these two put up the two highest points in the league last week. We'll see which one of those two is able to stay hot and keep the momentum going. And yeah, that's pretty much all we have for you boys this week. Nick, anything else before we get off?
Yeah, one final thought. Petition to boycott Monday Night Football from here on out. If you look at the last, I just been all around Twitter today. If you look at the last three Monday Night Footballs or regular season Monday Night Footballs, we've had a dude die on the field. We lost Aaron Rodgers for the season, and we lost Nicholas Chubb for the season, maybe forever. Fuck Monday Night Football. Fuck the mouse. Get that shit off my TV. Never again. Just done. I don't want it anymore. That's it. Fuck that whole production.
All right, boys, that's it. That's all we have for you guys this week. Make sure you tune back in next week. We'll give you the week 3 recap. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Peace out.